it's something I haven't seen on the menu for a long time. Partly when I was going to do it on a menu, which was quite some years ago, it was really expensive. I'm going to go for a mixed grill. I'm hopefully going to put this on the menu. Unfortunately, it won't be under my $15.99 deal. It's going to be slightly dearer. That's to come. And I'm just going to get some little bits ready now, because obviously I'm going to have some steak on it. Do love the hearts, and thank you so much. We're going to have some steak on it. We're going to have some king prawns on it. And we're going to have a baked egg. And substituting the sausages, I actually had some minced pork in my freezer. So I've made kofta style type sausages with my own seasoning. We're going to pop those in the air fryer and get them going. We're going to get the potatoes going because they all take the longest. And as you know, steak will take the steak, the prawns and the eggs all together 4 minutes. So potatoes take a little longer than that. But I'm going to show you how to put this together. This is really quick and easy. I've got some butter and some oil heating up in a pan now. So I'm going to throw some onions in there and get them going, which I've already prepped. Like a little Blue Peter job here. And this is one we made earlier. I'd love to say that, but at the moment it's not going to happen. So, in go the onions. And I accidentally had my pan up a little too high, so I've slightly burnt my batter. But, for what I want to use it for, I'm not overly fussed about that. So, this is really quick. You can do this with anything. I'm choosing, there we go. We're going to do this with some potatoes, and I'm turn the heat down slightly. And some mushrooms. We've got a bit of Savoy cabbage. I did do this the other day with my breadcrumb chicken dish, but this is going to be part of our mixed grill. So I'm going to let those onions soften a little bit. I'm going to pop my kofta looking things into the air fryer. What I've also got done in here is I've prepped some baked, we're going to have some baked tomatoes, and they're going to catch all the juices or anything left over from the koftas. So I did, as I said, I made these earlier, so they're nice and easy. As I said, if you make everything up ready to go, it makes life so much easier. So I'm going to pop these in the air fryer. I'm going to give them about 10 minutes and then I'm going to swap them over. I'm just going to move my onions slightly. Can't wait to get on gas. When I say stay on that temperature, it will. Alright. There we go. Bit of an odd even number there. So, then go in. I'm going to cook that, as I said, for about 10 minutes on 180. And then we're going to give them a turn. While that's doing, we're going to get some potatoes in and everything else that needs doing. Alright. So, on with the kofta. There we go. Turn it on for 10 minutes. Normally I'd cook them for 10 minutes just with one, but because there's 2 racks, I want to give them an even amount. Alright, so they're on. We'll go back to the onions, which are nicely softened. There we go. Alright, I'll turn it back up now for the potatoes. So, all I've done here, I've got salt, pepper, some thyme. That's pretty much it. Because I've got those really nice chestnut mushrooms. I've actually also, just to make it a little bit Christmassy, I have actually added some nice freshly dried sage to my potatoes and to my koftas. So just try and bring that little bit of Christmas feel in. That's all done. I'm going to clear that up in a minute. And as I said to you guys, I'm going to show you how I put this together later. But this is so easy. If you really want to make it nice and Christmassy, turn the heat up on that. Want the potatoes going. And what I'm saying to you guys is this is something you can actually do these bits earlier. I'm making all these koftas up. I'm not eating all these koftas. And once they're cooked, they can go in the freezer and they'll be happily done. So, hi, thank you. Thanks for joining me. Really appreciate it. And as I said, I've got some sliced chestnut mushrooms here and some chopped cabbage, Savoy cabbage. You could replace this with sprouts. They taste amazing when you chop them up. They taste even better when you fry them. Better when you fry them with bacon and onions and do them with some butter. They're really nice. The flavour really changes. And if you are not a lover of sprouts like myself, because I'm really not, when they're done up like that, they taste completely different. So hopefully, depending on where I am and what's going on, I will be doing that dish because I really like it and I really enjoy it. So, as I said, this is going to be on my menu for my communal breakfast. As I said, it will be slightly dearer than the rest of my menu, but you are getting a 4-ounce steak with king prawns, either sausages or kofta, depending on how these taste and how they come out. As I said, I'm using up the pork that I've got in my freezer because I don't want to waste it. But ideally, I'd like to use my butcher sausages, which is P&K meats in straight. I'm really happy with it. Meat I've got off him, and his gammon is to die for. It's really, really nice cut ham. I'm loving the hearts. I'm loving the attention. I'm really appreciating all of this. If you're not subscribed and you find me interesting, just subscribe. It's free. If I'm not keeping your attention and you don't find me interesting, just switch me off. It's quite easy to do. Just click of a button, really. So, the longest thing on here will probably be your sausages and the potatoes. So what you can do, you can get them going. Get your pan nicely hot for your steak. Which we don't want your steak going on a cold pan. Just have it on a low heat, which would be nice. Taking the pressure off the cooker. Hi, thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. Taking the pressure off the cooker by using the air fryer, obviously. And our potatoes are smelling really, really good already. I'm going to give them, where have I put it? There we go. I'm going to give them a little move round. As I said, I've done these. 2 knobs of butter and a tablespoon of olive oil. We are getting such a really lovely smell. So what we're going to do to that is we're going to add our cabbage. The mushrooms will be the last thing that you add. Hello, thank you for joining. I'm getting round to reading your comments. I really do appreciate you taking the time to even write a comment. But my phone is a little far away and there's not much room on here for my laptop. Back to the food. Let's turn you back round so you can actually see what's going on. Here we go. So, got me a little bit of potatoes and onions. And you add the onions if you want to add onions. You don't have to. Personally, I like to be using red, but I've got white. I really want to use them up. Potatoes are looking nice. To that, we're going to add the cabbage. Or as I said, you can use sprouts, which would make it a really nice Christmassy feel. A really good brunch meal in the afternoon with some leftovers. I know we all tend to struggle what to do with all that leftover food for the upcoming season. This, if you've only just joined and you just tuned in, and I'm sorry guys if you've been here, I'm just going to repeat myself. This is a dish I'm playing with for my communal breakfast. It is a twist on a mixed grill. A little bit of difference. We're going to add to the mixed grill, we're going to have like a bubble and squeak effect. It'll be accompanied by a 4-ounce steak, some lovely butter fried king prawns, and a baked egg. Baked fried egg, I should say. It's only baked because I put the lid on it, and it's dry fried. So don't worry, I haven't put butter on there. I'm going to let that reduce down. We're doing quite well here. I'm loving the smell that's coming off. Because the good thing about this is don't panic, you've got all these pans everywhere because that just gets confusing. You're like, oh my god, I'm cooking on this, and then I'm cooking here, and then I'm cooking over here, and you're stretching. You don't want to be doing any of that, guys. What you want to do, as I said, the potatoes take the longest. So I'm starting with the potatoes with my little pork things for my substitute sausages. What you're doing, get that cooked up, and I'm going to pop it in the oven. And because I like the plates warm, the oven's already nice and warm. I'm going to pop it in oven-proof dish, cover it with tin foil, and they can wait until my steak is done. Because the steak's only going to take 2 minutes, prawns will take 4, and the way I like the egg will probably take 3 or 4 minutes. So I've got to give someone a wink a minute. Here you are, my love. Is that okay? So, as I said, this is really simple. You do whatever you want with it. You don't have to do what I'm doing. But it'll be on the dish for my communal breakfast once we get that up and running. Fingers crossed. I'm very excited about it. I haven't had business for a while, and I'm going to see what I can do. The name's Demetrian Titus. Thank you very much. I've just read it, my love. Thank you. Is that okay? So I did do a shout out, and his name's Demetrius Titus. There we go. I think I've got it. There we go. So, probably pronounced it wrong because you know what I'm like. Even if jokes are lost on me as well because my pronunciation is terrible. So, oh, there we go. Look at that. That is. I really wish this had smell vision because the smells I'm getting from that are incredible. My pork sausage things that I've flavoured myself are 2 minutes away, so we're going to turn those over in a minute and I'm going to show you what they look like. And then we'll go back to the potato dish while the potatoes warm up. We're going to add the mushrooms and that's it. That's all it needs doing with that. And once they're all reduced down, I'm going to pop that in the oven and I'm going to get to the main things like the steak, the prawns, and I've finished off with the egg. But guys, I am not showing you. Hi, thank you for joining. Do appreciate it. I really do appreciate even having your slight attention for 30 seconds. Makes my page look that little bit better. So we're trying here, guys. Anyway, as I said, this is the dish I'm looking at playing with to go on my menu. If I can get this right, this will be really good. If I can make it look pretty, it'll be even better. Koftas are coming out, so you can have a little whizzle on those. Normally I'd have my gimbal bit on, but it's so fiddly sometimes. I'm going to pop you there so you can see them coming out while I rinse all this out. There we are. Give me a little time in it. Alright. So, yeah, I think personally another 10 minutes. As I said, look at these are looking really good. They are so easy to make. Mince is so cheap You don't have to just make a lasagna with the mincemeat. You know, you can do so much other wonderful things with it. And you don't have to stick to meatballs. I love meatballs, but sometimes I just want something just a little bit simpler. So there's 10 minutes. They're looking really tasty. I'm just going to turn them over slightly. These are actually looking a lot better than the first lot I tried, to be honest. They were right. These aren't looking so dried out. As I said, I'm using pork. You can change it to lamb if you want. It's up to you, whatever meat you prefer. Alright, I can go in. As I said, these will be going in the freezer. So I won't be wasting any. But as this meat was already frozen, we can't be putting that back in. So, pop this on. There we go. And I've got my tomatoes here. I'm going to flip them all over. Without them falling apart would be good. But I think you got all that pork fat dripping down on them, so they're going to be really tasty. There we go. Now, don't use your fingers. Try not to burn yourself. This is just me. Alright. So, those are going back in. I am actually going to give them, wipe the bottom of that a minute. I'm going to turn the temperature down, and I'm going to give them 10 minutes on 170, just so they slowly cook. We'll leave them to do their business. So, pop them on 170. We'll go for another 10 minutes. And you're back to me, unfortunately. Hey. Oh, what a really lovely comment. That's nice. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. Right, back to the potatoes. And out of the pan's hot. Yeah. There is this thing called a tea towel I should use, but I do tend to forget. So, we got our potatoes. And as you can see, they are looking really good. We've got a really nice caramelisation going on with the butter that was in the pan. And all we're going to do now, see, not that sort of like, that's nice. Yeah. Sprinkle some salt on it, get away with calling the cabbage almost like Chinese cabbage. But never mind. Right, that can go down a bit now. So all I'm going to do, just throw mushrooms in. That's it. Easy as that, guys. A bit too far down. Obviously, you want to work your mushrooms in, and your mushrooms will pull all the rest of the moisture that's coming out of your cabbage, any moisture left over from your potatoes, and that goes straight out. And again, I'm going to cover the lid. And pretty much that's it, guys. I haven't really got much to show you on that bit. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to pop this in the oven once this is done. And then cook the steak along with the prawns. But because obviously the cooking time and I don't want my food overcooked, I'm going to have to show you that in a reel. Because I'd rather keep it warm than have my food overcooked and then it's got to wait again. That would not be enjoyable. So we've got potatoes with the cabbage, the onions and the mushrooms cooking really nicely in the pan. I've got the kofta, cheaper chips, you can get £2 of meat, I think that's like 500 grams of meat there for like £2. next to nothing, and you can do what you want with it. You don't have to stick to what I've done. Do, as I said, meatballs or anything, but slight different take on the meatballs. Let's have a little check on them. Yeah, they're doing pretty good. So, if you're keen to know what happens and how this turned out, I'm in the UK and England. Hey UK! Hey Somerset! So this is a little bit of a practice for me to see what I can do. What my limits? I know what my limits are, but you know when you got something in your head, you just gotta get it out. They're looking good. So guys, next time you see all this, it'll be when I put it together, because I've got to swap my pans round. I need a bit of space, and I've got nowhere to put my stand. So I hope you're having a lovely afternoon, no matter what you're doing. I do apologise if you're working and I'm making you hungry. If I'm making you hungry enough to check out my site, have a look at my Insta. Most of my recipes are on Instagram if you want to have a go for yourself. That is paid though, it's 99p for the month, and if you don't like it, just leave. As I said here, just switch me off and I'll go away. I'm not going to come back and haunt you, am I? I'm going to get back to this because there's 6 minutes left on my koftas. I've got to get all my plates that ready. So, have a lovely afternoon. Stay tuned for later if you're interested how this comes out. But yeah, this is looking like a dish that I'll be putting on my menu. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all your comments, and it is appreciated, and I'll see you soon. Take care guys. Bye.